Hello, my name is Rossella and today I'm going to do the B paper included in this book published by the ABRSM in 2020. If you haven't done it yet, click on the red button there and subscribe to my channel so I can help you get a distinction in your next theory exam. You can also follow me on Facebook, Theory Virtuoso, and on Instagram, Theory Virtuoso, where you can revise your knowledge and know what and when I'm going to publish next. Don't forget, then you can also visit my website, theoryvirtuoso.com, where you can see all the videos that I publish. There are music theory videos where you can learn or revise your knowledge, tutorials on the most recent workbook published by the ABRSM, Discovering Music Theory, piano tutorials, quizzes to test your knowledge, and exam papers so you can check your answers and get super ready for your exam. Thank you for sharing and liking this video. Subscribe to my channel to become a theory virtuoso. Ciao! This first chapter is about rhythm. And in this exercise number 1, we are asked to circle one of the key signatures that would make the bar appear like that. Now we have 3 options here, 3/4, 6/8, and 7/8. And we need to look at the grouping, the beaming, number of beats, the minimum value of the beats. Let's simplify this. We have 1 triplet at the end. As usual, I always recommend to go for the easiest thing. In this case, for me, the easiest is the triplet because it gives me the last movement, just like that. So it's a movement of a crotchet, okay? Then I have another crotchet here, 2 quavers. There are a crotchet, okay? So another crotchet here, another crotchet here, and 1 quaver, because 2 semiquavers together is 1 quaver. So it is visible that is an odd number. We have 3 crotchets and 1 quaver, and of course this is an odd number. It's immediately visible. So let's subdivide these where 2 quavers, 2 quavers, 2 quavers and 1 quaver. In total we have 7 quavers, and of course 7/8 is our key signature. In this second example, the options are 7/8, 9/8 and 5/4. I wouldn't expect another 7/8 because it just comes after that, but we never know. Let's start from the general view of our bar. Is that simple or compound? We have 2 compound times and 1 simple time. This is an odd number, so it might be a little bit odd here, but we'll see. As ever, I always recommend to be guided by your eyesight and go for the easiest thing. For example, these are already grouped here. So this rest is in the middle of 2 grouped things. Might go with this or with that. So let's see, we have 1 quaver, another quaver, so we have 2 quavers. Then we have 1 semiquaver and another semiquaver made up of 2 demi-semiquavers. So in total we have 1, 2 and 3 quavers. That makes me think of a compound time. This here could be also compound time because the quaver wouldn't be on its own otherwise. It would be grouped with the 2 semiquavers that come after that. So I think that this one is also a compound time. Now, if this is another 3 quavers, we are in 9/8. There is 1 quaver here, 1 quaver here, and another one here. So definitely this is a 9/8 bar. Okay. Last one. The options are 6/4, 6/8 and 3/2. 3/2 mean 3 minims. 6/8 means 6 quavers grouped in 3. 6/4 means 2 dotted minims. So let's see what we find here. There is 1 minim, there is 1 crotchet. These 2 go together So let's have a look. We have one crochet, two other crochets here, they are together, another crochet, another two crochets. So let's find out how many crochets we have. 2, 4, 6. So it could be 6/4 or 3 halves, because there are 3 minims. It depends on the grouping. And let's have a look. If the time signature would be 3 halves, we would have 3 minims, okay? 1, 2 and 3. In this case, look at these two. They are basically grouped together. And we can't put a dot between these two. So they would be written, if it would be 3 halves, our time signature, this would be basically this. This would be written like that, because we can't beam together 2 movements. So we would need to see 1, 2 and 3 movements in this bar. Because we see basically 3 plus 3, the answer is 6/4, because 6/4 is 2 dotted minims. There you go, sorted. If you don't understand something, leave me a comment and I will make another small video for you. Okay, for now, I move on to the second question. The second question asks us to compare this compound time bar with one of the options and tick the option that is correctly rewritten in simple time. So let's have a look. The usual tip that I give here is to consider that 3 quavers in compound time becomes a triplet in simple time, because simple time has 2 subdivisions. 3 quavers don't fit in a movement subdivided with 2 quavers. So it must be a triplet and a regular group of notes. The duplets become simple quavers because they fit perfectly. Now, this is the answer basically. Where do we find this? We have 2 triplets here, so no. We have 1 triplet and a group of 2 quavers. Yes, it could be. There is another triplet and 2 quavers. Now we need to change the time signature. So 6/8 means 2 movements based on quavers. Now they become 2 movements, so 2 movements based on crotchets. And so 2/4 is the answer, this one here. If you see this bar, 4/4, it's incomplete. This is 2/4 because another half of the bar is missing, and we know that the bar is complete because we have the double bar line here. So the bar is finished, so it can't be 4/4. Okay? Yes? No? Let me know as usual. Now I go on to the third exercise, and the third exercise asks us to complete the 2 sentences by adding just one number. Let's see, in 9/8 there are X number of dotted crochet beads in a bar. Okay, dotted crotchets means 3 quavers, okay? So how many do we need to make up 9? Well guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 7, 8. There you go. So how many? So each of them makes a dotted crochet. So how many dotted crochets? 3. Okay? Let's move on. A dotted minim is equal to this number of semiquavers. A dotted minim is the equivalent of 3 crochets. Now each crochet has 2 quavers, and each quaver is made of 2 semiquavers. So it's just double this number of quavers. So 12. Sorted quickly. Let's change a page and go to question 4 and 5. Fourth question, tick one box to show which bar is grouped correctly. So we need to look at the time signature first. And 4/4, this is simple time in which we need to see 2 crotchets on a side and the other 2 crotchets on the other side. And this is a must, remember this very carefully, we must see the middle of the bar. If this gap here is not showed, it means that is grouped incorrectly. So look at here. Can we see anywhere 4 movements? Okay, let's have a look at here. I see 1, 2 and 3. So we already know that here 2 and 3, so this is the first movement, first crochet. The second crochet is 2 quavers, the other second crochet is the other 2 quavers, and 4 semi-quavers make another crochet, the fourth one. So we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is not, this half of the bar, it's not shown, so no thank you. In this case, yes, we see the middle of the bar here, it's here, but what do we see afterwards? Do you think that 3 semi-quavers are correct? I don't think so. So this is correct, this could be. Then we have 2 quavers and 1 semi-quaver. The only case in which we have 1 semi-quaver on its own is when there is a dot before, a dot on a nearby dotted quaver, and this is not the case, so this is incorrect. And let's just double check this is correct because it's 1, 2, and then there is the 3rd crochet and the 4th crochet, and the middle of the bar is here. So yes, this is correct. Excellent. Question 5. Tick or cross. So here, as I always say, we need to be the teacher of the book, imagining that the book is a student. Now we need to say to the student whether they were correct or incorrect. About what? About the rests that were added in these bars. The time signature is 9/16. Don't panic, it just means 9 semi-quavers in a bar grouped as a compound time. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3. Again, we can't have the bar grouped here, the semi-quavers grouped differently. So we need to see 1 dotted quaver, another dotted quaver and another dotted quaver. So let me just do it here as well. Where we don't see this, incorrect. So let's have a look. We have a dotted quaver here. Okay, so far. Then where are the other 2 dotted quavers? I think they have been merged together into a dotted crochet. So this is incorrect because we don't see the 3 movements. We see just 2. So this is incorrect. I'm so sorry. Let's have a look at this one here. Again, let's start from the easiest things. We have 1 dotted quaver here. Perfect. This is another quaver. Okay, and where is the dot here? This is another quaver, and where is the dot? So let's see, there is a dot missing here, so there is a semi-quaver rest missing, and here so they are merged together again because we see that here we have this one, and then they should have been like that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But in this case, they've been these 2 have been joined together, so that's incorrect because again we don't see the 3 movements correctly separated. Here 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3. In this case we can make a note as long as 2 movements, so this is correct. Okay, let's change page and let's go on to pitch. This section about pitch includes 4 questions. Let's see the first one. We need to tick one box that shows the correct name of this note, read in the alto clef. The alto clef is treble clef plus 1. And if you need to revise it, please go to the links in the description below and find a very useful video that I've created for transposing by eye. It's an instant transposition. Anyway, in the treble clef, this would be called B, C. So plus 1 is Do. So this note is C. If you want to be extremely sure, you know that this is middle C. So you count backwards. Do, Si, La, Sol, Fa, Mi, Re, Do. And this is Do. Okay? So C. Question number 2. We need to tick the box corresponding to the enharmonic equivalent of this note. And this note in the bass clef is called Fa because it's treble clef plus 2, so F. F could be read as Mi sharp. Okay, so if I write a keyboard here, okay, so this is Mi and this is Fa. This note here could be called Mi sharp because it's a semitone higher, or Sol double flat because it's just 2 semitones below, 1 tone below. We have G flat, but we need a double flat. We have Mi sharp, so good. And we have D double sharp, but I'm afraid that D double sharp would make Mi. So the answer is E sharp. Very quick and easy. Let's go straight on to 3 and 4. This third question is about transposition. So we need to transpose this down A major second. And again, we need to be the teacher of an imaginary student by ticking or crossing the boxes to show whether the answer is correct or not. We have 3 flats here, and let's not consider the key signature for now, but let's do the intervals first. So from Fa, we need one tone lower is Mi flat, and this Mi is in fact flat, so correct. Now La flat, as a tone down would be G flat, but this G has been naturalized, so I'm afraid this is wrong because it's a minor second down. Do sharp can't be B flat because from Do sharp we need just A B with no flat, so no. And Re becomes Do natural, Re natural, Do natural, so this is correct. Now let's go to the key signature. With 3 flats, the possible key signatures are either Mi flat. With the key signatures with flats, we go to the penultimate, and this is the major key. So Mi flat, E flat major, or C minor. But we don't need to know if it's major or minor in this case, because the major and the relative minor share the same key signature. So it's irrelevant in this case. So E flat major, a tone down would be D flat major. Now let's see how many flats D flat major has. D flat is our penultimate flat in our key signature, so we count until we find D, and then we add another one: Si, Mi, La, Re, Sol. Si, Mi, La, Re, Sol. Easy. So we have 5 flats. Let's see: Si, Mi, La, Re, Sol. Correct. There you go. Done. Let's go to number 4, shall we? In this question number 4, we need to compare the 3 examples and say whether the 3 statements are true or false by circling the answer. Again, it's about pitch, and my memorization about pitch when we compare the clefs is if the pitch you want to know, middle C, are you above or below? Once we answer this question, this is very easy to do. So let's see. C, middle C is here, and we can circle it. In treble clef, middle C is down here. In the alto clef, middle C is here. So I'll do it here. Okay? So A and C are at the same pitch, but as you can see, this is an octave higher than middle C and this is middle C, so I'm afraid this is false. B is an octave higher than A. Now A here, this middle C is here. This middle C has another C in the middle before we can reach the higher one. So actually this is 2 octaves higher than A. So not 1 octave, but 2 octaves. So false again. C is 1 octave lower than B. Now middle C is here, middle C is here. This is 1 higher. And this note here corresponds to this one. Now this note, they say here, is an octave higher than this, and it is, because this C would be written here in the treble clef, and so this is clearly an octave higher than this. So this is true. Easy and quick. I hope this makes sense, but if not, please leave me a comment and ask me questions. Thank you, and let's go on to keys and scales. The section about keys and scales is actually very long in the exam, so it counts a lot in terms of marks. So let's try to do it properly. The first question asks us to tick the correct key signature of B flat minor. Now B flat minor is the relative minor of D flat major. We said that already, how many flats D flat major has, but let's do it again. With key signatures with flats, the name of the key is the penultimate flat. So let's count and add another one. Si, mi, la, re, and sol. 5 flats. Now I did say in one of the videos, and the link is in the description below, it's 2B and 2C. I say in these videos that the key signature has always, with flats, has always the same shape. And the shape is a zigzagging, descending shape. So this is a bit zigzagging, but does it go consecutive? Let's see. Si, mi, la, re. This one misses. It should have been here. So this is incorrect. This one here doesn't really look as this, so we can easily say no, thank you. This one here might be correct. Si, mi, la, re, sol. This might be correct. Let's see if we can exclude this one for some reason. This is the tenor clef, so in the tenor clef, this note, so middle C is here, this is not even B, so we must exclude this one. This is sol, G, so it starts on the wrong note. So our answer is the bass clef. There you go. In the key signatures with sharps, they ask us to find the key signature of B major. And B major has 5 sharps, and to know that, from B we go 1 semitone below A sharp, and then we count Fa, Do, Sol, Re, La, 5 sharps. Now the key signatures with sharps have two shapes, one for the tenor clef and one for all the other clefs. For all the other clefs, they have a waving shape of which the second wave is longer. The second is longer, second wave. So three curves of which the second one is longer. And with the tenor clef, the key signature would be an ascending shape like that. So let's see. We can exclude this one because it's ascending, but this is the alto clef and this is just the tenor clef. We can also exclude this one because it doesn't have the longer curve here. It could be that this is correct, and it could be also, this could be also correct. So we must exclude one for some reason. Let's see the treble clef. Fa, do, fa, do. Where is do here? This is C, so that's incorrect because it should have been written here, right here. Fa, do. This one here. So our correct answer is the tenor clef. Let's see. This is do, si, la, sol, fa. Okay, fa, do, sol, re, la. Correct. That's the shape. Okay, easy? Is it easier with the shapes? I think it is, but let me know if not. Question number 3. In this question, we are asked to circle the correct key for the 3 melodies. Now, we need to carefully look at the accidentals and exclude the answers that can't be correct. Now, in bass clef, watch out for the clefs, because if you read the notes incorrect, you're not going to make it right. Now, here we have fa sharp and re sharp. The last sharp would be D in our order, fa, do, sol, re, okay? But if we have D sharp, we would have also 3 sharps. So fa, do, sol, so this one would have been sharp, and this one too. But they are not sharp. So this means that this note here is the leading note, and the leading note is a semitone lower than the key. And in this case, D sharp, mi. E minor is the relative minor of the key signature that has just 1 sharp. Fa sharp plus 1 semitone, G major. And G major minus 3 semitones equals E minor. And so our answer is E minor. In G minor, we would have had flats. In G major, we wouldn't have this, D sharp, and in B minor we would have had do sharp and la sharp. Now, the second example, we have an interesting number of sharps, and let's have a look. C sharp minor, G sharp minor, B major and E major. We have re, mi, sol, do sharp and fa double sharp. Now this rings a bell to me, but let's put them in order. We have fa, do, sol, re, la, mi. Okay, so our last sharp would be mi sharp. If so, with E sharp, our key signature would be F sharp major, but it isn't. Do we have the relative minor? D sharp minor? No, we don't. So what is this? If we look at here, this mi, fa double sharp and sol sharp reminds me of the final part of an ascending melodic scale. And this makes me think of G sharp minor. Let's see, the relative major of G sharp minor would be B major. we have both. In B major, we can't have fa double sharp because fa double sharp, again, is the leading note. And again, what rings a bell to me is this double sharp, because there is no key signature that has double sharp. So if that note has been raised up, it means there is a minor scale. So the minor scale in this case is G sharp. So G sharp. In C sharp minor, we would have had this note sharpened because the leading note of C sharp is B sharp. Okay, so it can't be. We said that already here, that in B major we can't have fa double sharp, and in E major we can't have Mi sharp and fa double sharp. So we can easily exclude the other ones. The last example also has sharps, interestingly. So let's have a look. F sharp minor, C sharp minor, E major, A major. All right. Let's go in order. Treble clef, fa, do, sol, and Mi sharp. Now this Mi sharp is out of the blue, because with 3 sharps we could have easily been in A major, and so in fact it's listed, but with A major we couldn't have had Mi sharp. But Mi sharp could be again the leading note because it has been raised up. It means that it has a roll. The only possible roll would be to be a leading note of the next semitone, F sharp minor. And in fact, F sharp minor is the relative minor of A major, and they do share the key signature, so it does have 3 sharps, but as well it has the leading note raised up to make it a semitone. So F sharp minor. Let's exclude the other one. C sharp minor would have had definitely Re sharp, okay, because it's a relative minor of E major. So these two must be excluded because D is not sharp. So the only possible answer is F sharp minor. And I hope this makes sense. But again, these things can be a little bit tricky, so let me know if I was clear in my explanation. Thank you very much. Number 4 now. Question number 4 asks us to tick one of the boxes that correspond to the right notes to make a scale of D harmonic minor. D minor is the relative minor of F major, and it has just 1 flat. The clef is bass clef, so this is Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si, so B. And which B? B is flat in D harmonic minor, so B flat. And after the B flat, we have the leading note 1 semitone below D. So Do sharp, and here it is. Okay, now you need to remember that between the leading note, the 6th and the 7th, in the harmonic scale, there is an augmented second. So if I draw a keyboard, okay, and this is D, okay, so we have Do sharp, and this is the leading note. Then from this we need to find the notes there is 3 semitones below. So 1, 2 and 3, B flat. Sorry if I don't do this, it's not really clear. So B flat. From C sharp, 1, 2 and 3, B flat. Okay? So we have the sound. Very good. Let's turn the page. Scales circle one clef so we can read these scales as minor scales. Now, if we don't read the notes correctly, the scale wouldn't make any sense. So great, let's see. In the treble clef, this would be D, okay? So re, do, si, la, sol, fa, mi sharp. That's the same note, so it can be. Goodbye. Bass clef, this would be F, fa. So fa, mi, re, do, si, la, so sharp, fa. That doesn't make any sense either. So goodbye. In the alto clef is treble clef plus 1, okay? So D plus 1 is E. Mi, re, do, si, la, sol, fa sharp, mi. This could be a scale. It could be a descending melodic scale or a natural scale because E minor has one sharp and the relative major is G major. Let's see if this is incorrect as well. Our answer is the alto clef. In the tenor clef, this note will be treble clef minus 1. So this note would be do. Do, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re sharp, do. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't really make it up. So this is also an augmented second. It never happens in scales because the first 2 degrees are one tone apart, no matter the scale. Major, minor, they all have one tone to start with. So our answer is the alto clef. Let's go to the second one. If we have the treble clef, this note is do. Do, si, la flat, sol, fa, mi flat, re, do. Okay, do minor is the relative minor of E flat and it has 3 flats. So let's see. Do, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. We have mi and la. Mi and la are the second and third flats in order. Okay, so B is missing. Si, mi and la. Now, when can we miss B flat in this case? When it's the leading note, and this could be actually because this is the semitone and then the augmented second, typical of a harmonic scale, and then we have mi flat. So this is C minor. Now let's exclude the other ones. In the bass clef, this would be mi. Mi minor is the relative minor of G major. We said that here, so there are no flats, so it can't be. In the alto clef, this will be do plus 1 re, D. So re minor is D minor is the relative minor of F major, and it has just one flat. These 2 flats, so this can't be. So re, do, si, that is possible. La, sol, fa flat, it can be. And in the tenor clef, this note would be B. Now B minor is the relative minor of D major and it has sharps, so the flats don't really fit. So our answer is the treble clef. Let's carry on. Sharps. In the treble clef, this will be A sharp. Now A sharp minor is the relative minor of C sharp major, and C sharp major has lots of sharps. C sharp, a semitone lower, is B sharp. So fa, do, sol, re, la, mi, si. 7 sharps. Do we have 7 sharps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6, not 7. So this can't be A sharp minor, because in this case do would be absolutely sharp because C sharp is the relative major, so it can't be natural. So bye bye treble clef. Let's see in the bass clef. This note will be C sharp, and C sharp minor is the relative minor of E major with 4 sharps plus the leading note. So fa, do, sol, re, and these 2 notes could be raised up to make a melodic scale. So this could be an ascending melodic scale of C sharp. Now let's not think about this too much. Let's just move on and exclude the other two, shall we? In the alto clef, this would be B sharp. B sharp doesn't exist because B sharp major is simply C major, so no. And in the tenor clef, this would be So sharp. So sharp is the relative minor of B sharp with 5 sharps. So Sol, La, Si, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol. Let's have a look. Now, if So sharp is the tonic, the leading note would be a semitone lower. To make a minor scale, we would have this semitone lower. So this Fa sharp can't be, because it's a tone apart. It has to be Fa double sharp. And because it's not, we can exclude this one too. And our answer is the bass clef. Does this make sense, guys? Can you let me know, please? Thank you very much. For now, I move on to the 6th question. Okay, this question asks us to circle whether these two scales, chromatic scales, are correctly written or not. The first one is C sharp. There is the tenor clef. Don't panic, is treble clef -1. So we have Do sharp, and that is correct. Let's see first if we have 13 notes, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes, they are. So I'm afraid we have to check if they are correct. So it starts on C sharp and it ends on C sharp. So yes, apparently yes. So C sharp, B sharp, B natural, La sharp, La natural, So sharp, Fa double sharp, that makes it Sol, Fa sharp, Mi sharp, that is Fa, Mi natural, Re sharp, Re natural, and C sharp. I think this is correct. Let's go backwards. Do sharp, Re sharp, Mi sharp, that is Fa, Fa sharp, Fa double sharp, that is Sol, So sharp, La sharp, Si sharp, Do sharp. So this is definitely correct. The next one starts on E and it's ascending this time. So Mi sharp, Fa sharp, Sol, So sharp, La sharp, Si sharp, Do sharp, Re sharp, Mi. I think this is correct. I usually play it on an imaginary keyboard. You can also draw a keyboard here. Let's do it properly. So Mi, let's start on, well, let's do it properly. Okay, from Mi to Mi. So Mi sharp, Fa sharp, Sol. Then, so this way, Sol, So sharp, La sharp, Si sharp, Do sharp, Re sharp, and Mi. Correct. Both of them were correct. The next question asks us to circle whether this statement is true or false. Now, Do, treble clef, this is the submediant of E flat major. Okay, the submediant is the 6th degree, and the 6th degree of E major, let's count, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do, so starts with Do. Now we need to check whether this Do is natural, flat, sharp, or whatever. So E flat major is our key signature, and E flat is the penultimate flat in our key signature. So we count C, Mi, La. Now, did I name do in my key signature? I don't think so. Si, mi, la, 3 flats, and do is not flat, so this is correct. This B flat is the mediant of D flat major. Now D flat, so it's the 3rd degree. What is the mediant of D flat? It's the 3rd degree, so re, mi, fa, fa. So fa is not B flat, so this is incorrect. Now this mi, if you're not sure, just count from sol, la, si, do, re, mi. Okay, this is mi. It's the supertonic of D minor. The supertonic is the 2nd degree. It's the note before, it's the note after the tonic. D minor, D plus 1, E. Now D minor is the relative minor of F major, and it has just 1 flat, B flat. And E is not flat, but it's natural. So yes, it is true. And with this 7th question, we have finished the section about keys and scales, and I hope this was useful. But let me know, send me a message, comment, like and share to help me improve as well. Thank you, and let's go on to intervals. Okay, we need to tick one box that shows the correct interval. La, do sharp. Okay, la do is a minor 3rd, with do sharp becomes a major 3rd. So here it is. Now it can't be a minor 3rd because do is sharp. It can't be augmented because it has to have either la flat or do double sharp. So we have to increase the distance between the notes. Or compound minor, indeed, it can't be because that must have been an octave lower, or this one an octave higher, because it's a compound. So it's more than an octave apart. So our answer is a major 3rd. Now 3 flats, this is sol, and this, let's count, is A flat, but let's count. Sol, la, si, do, re, mi, fa plus 2. Or you can read from B here in bass clef straight away. So si, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. A flat, because it's flat. Try not to miss the flats here, otherwise you just calculate an incorrect interval. Sol, la, this is clearly more than an octave. So this compound rings a bell. 9th, it could be a 9th because it's one after the octaves. It can't be a 10th because the note should have been called B for a 10th. And diminished 9th. Diminished 9th looks a little bit too short for this interval, but let's still consider it. Now, let's find out what would the non-compound interval be. Sol, la flat is a minor 2nd, so is a compound minor 2nd. We must exclude the major. We must exclude the diminished, and the minor 9th is our answer. Okay, so basically we move this down here or this up here. And we calculate. Bass clef, do, so sharp. This is definitely a compound. The non-compound version would be a 5th. So let's make a non-compound. Do, so sharp. Do sol is a perfect 5th. And because it's sharp, it means that our distance is augmented, is increased. So the interval is augmented. And we have a compound augmented 5th, diminished 5th. It can be a 12th. It can't be an augmented 13 because it's a 12. So our answer is a compound augmented 5th. Our next question asks us to circle the type of the interval. But again, to learn the type, we need to know what number of the interval, what is the distance. With 4 sharps, this is so sharp, do sharp. Okay, now this is a compound interval, but if we write it here, we don't need to actually know it now. We just put it an octave higher. So so sharp, do sharp, that is a 4th. Now sol do is a perfect 4th. So sharp, do sharp is still a perfect 4th. So perfect. Si, re. Now, this is also a compound interval, but we don't care. We just put it an octave higher and we take it as a simple interval. Si, re is a minor 3rd because these 2 notes are 3 semitones apart, and this is a minor 3rd. Watch out for the clef. La, so sharp. Now, this is a 7th. What do we do with a 7th? I always say to my students, flip them over and this so sharp and take it as a so sharp la. So sharp la is a minor 2nd. Then when we flipped it back, becomes a major 7th. So major. Okay, so what do we do again? We flip them over. So instead of la so sharp, we consider them as so sharp la. This is a minor 2nd. We flip them back, and then of course we flip minor to a major. We flip the type of interval as well. So a minor becomes a major, a diminished becomes augmented, and so forth. Okay, done. Let's move on to the next one. Here we need to write the intervals, and they highlight that the 2nd note must be higher. Now you can say, well, it's highlighted. Why do you say it? Well, some candidates write it lower. So never take anything for granted. Perfect 4th from mi. Now a 4th will be mi, fa, sol, la. Okay, so la is our note. So let's write la. Now mi la is a perfect 4th. So mi flat, to make it perfect, we have to put a flat on la. So mi la, perfect 4th. Mi flat, la flat, perfect 4th. So la flat. Sorry, this is really untidy. I'll do it again. Okay. Augmented 7th from B flat, la. So here it's la. Okay. Now we flip it round and we find a 2nd. We need to make it a diminished 2nd. Then to know what kind of accidental we need to put here. So this is B flat, okay? Here, B flat, B flat. La, C flat is a minor 2nd, and to make it diminished, we need to raise this up again. So we must write a La sharp. That would make it augmented. You can also, so this looks a little bit strange, but it is, because if you consider that a 7th is made up of 5.5 tones, so 5 tones and 1 semitone, and B flat la is a 5.5. So to make up that 6th, that missing semitone, we need to raise up. In other words, if you flip them round, is the enharmonic equivalent. A compound major 6. Now let's take the compound out for the moment. If you're not sure what this note is, you can count. Anyway, it's fa, do, si, la, sol, fa, so in F. Okay, a major 6 from F, so fa, sol, la, si, do, re, is just D. Is here, but because it's compound, we need to raise it up again over an octave. So this is a compound. Fa, major 6th. Minor tenth. This is also another compound, okay? A tenth from fa. Now, fa and fa is an octave, 9 and 10th. So it is la. Is an octave plus a third. Fa la is a major third, and we want a minor 10th, so we need to put a flat here in order to make fa la a minor third and raise it up by an octave. Okay, easy? Right, chords. We need to indicate which chord, 1, 2, 4 or 5, these notes make in a melody in G major. We start on G and we end on G, and this is a G major chord. We can see it. So let's have a look. We have Sol, Si, Re. Okay, so let's write them in order and let's see. Sol, Si, Re. Now let's see the root position of this chord. Sol, Si, Re actually is okay. Sol, La, Si, Do, Re. So this is a G major chord, so first degree. Number 1. Oh, and by the way, because these chords make cadences, we can exclude lots of chords here. Let's see. Fa and Re. Re and Fa, maybe the third note is missing. Re, Fa, La. Re, Fa and La. Could that be Re for G is the 5th degree, so could that be 5? Yes, it is. Let's carry on. Mi, Do, Si, La. Okay, one of these notes is a passage note. So, Si, maybe one of this, maybe it's Si, because these are third apart. So I think we can exclude this one. La. A. Now let's see the root position. La, Si, Do, Re, Mi. So La, Si, Do, Re, Mi. La, Do, Mi. La, Do, Mi for G major, let's write it here actually, is the 2nd degree, and so 2. Re, Fa, La, we have it here, 5th. I would expect number 1 here, and in fact we have Sol, Si, Re, so 1. This is an imperfect cadence and this is a perfect cadence, a bit more articulated with the 2 chords on the 2nd degree here. But it's all done. Let's move on. Okay, we need to find out which cadence we have in each small piece. So let's see. We are in F major here, and the notes are Fa, La, Fa, Do. Okay, Fa is doubled. What is the order of these notes? Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do. Fa, La, Do. So Fa is our root position. Fa for F major is the 1st. The 2nd chord is made up of Do, Sol, Mi, Do. Do is doubled, so let's cross it out. Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol. Here, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol. Do, Mi, Sol. Now, F and C. Do, C for F major is the 5th, so 1/5 is the imperfect cadence. There you go. Now, here we are in D major. La, let's figure out the notes first. La, Si, Do, and then La and Mi. So, La is doubled. La, Do, Mi, that is the chord. La, A. A for D is the 5th. So this is the 5th degree, 5. Re, Re, one we can cross straight away. La and Fa. Re, Fa, La. Re is the the lowest note of the chord, and re for re is the first. So 5/1 is the perfect cadence. And here it is, all done. Now with the same system, we're going to do this question number 3, same system. Okay, so let's go. We need to find which chords they are and their position. So if it's root position, first inversion or second inversion. The key is D major. So let's see. Fa, La, Re, and La. La is doubled. Now let's see. Let's combine these notes. So we have this position. Re, mi, fa, sol, la, I guess. So re, fa, la. We need to recite them in order. So we find one on, one off, one on, one off, one on, one off. Okay? So re, fa, la, re. That's a D major. It's the first degree. Now, which note is on the bass? Is it the first one? Is the second one? Or is the third? We have F, and F is 1B. Where is 1B here? Here. Okay? Is that easier this way? Let's try on the second chord. Sol, Si, Re. This is already in order. Sol, Si, Re. This is the bass because sol, la, si, do, re. Okay? If I say them in order, I say one yes, one no, one yes. I don't say it, and yes. So sol, la, si, do, re. Which note is at the bottom? G. So A, B, or C? Oh, G for D major is sol, re, mi, fa, sol. It's the fourth degree. So fourth degree. And G is the lowest note. So 4A, and here it is. The last chord, Mi, Sol, Si. Also, we're lucky today. This is already in order. Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si. Mi is the root note. Mi, Sol, Si is the second degree of the scale. Mi is the second degree. And which note is at the bottom? Mi, Sol, or Si? Mi. So 2A. And this is our correct answer. Happy? Let me know. And we move on to terms, signs and instruments. Okay, to answer the questions in this sixth section, you only need to revise it and memorize them. So it's a mnemonic exercise that you need to do. And I'm afraid there's nothing that can give you a discount on that. So let's see. Langsam, that means slow. That's it. Sottovoce, this is an Italian word that is for an undertone. Under, sotto, voce, tone. So, undertone. Douce is a French word for sweet. Dolce. And that's it. There's no much I can tell you. Okay. Number 2, we need to tick the box that tells us the name of the ornament. Now, let's have a look at here. These quick notes that have this shape, this is a gruppetto, a turn. Also called gruppetto. Well, gruppetto. It's a group. It's a small group, basically, in Italian. It's not a trill because that would be like lower mordent would be shorter, just one note up, and appoggiatura is just 2 notes and not this quick, so it can be. Now I did say this of the trill, and look at this shape, so that is a trill. It's too long for an acciaccatura, too long for a turn and too long for an upper mordant. It could be a mordant up to here, yes. So just 2 notes. That would be an upper mordant. It can be a turn because the turn has this shape, and the acciaccatura is just too many notes. So that's all. The violin sometimes uses the alto clef. I'm afraid it isn't true, because in some languages the treble clef is also called violin clef. So false. A bass voice has a lower range than a baritone voice, and this is correct because in order, like the clefs, we have soprano, mezzo soprano, alto, and these are the female voices, and then tenor, baritone, and bass, in order from the highest to the lowest. So the bass is the lowest of the male voices. The marimba produces sounds of definite pitch, and this is correct because the marimba has also the shape of a keyboard. It's very big and has the shape of a keyboard. It is a percussion instrument, and it does give us definite pitches. So true. An oboe uses a single reed. It's double. So I'm afraid this is false. The clarinet is a transposing instrument. Yes, there are clarinets in A, clarinets in B. So yes, it's true. And this is just to memorize, guys. There's no shortcut for this. So just revise the last 2 chapters of the grade 5 book, Discover Music Theory, because all the answers are there. Okay, so we move on to the last part of our exam, the 7th section. Okay, here we need to compare these 3 bars with bar 8, the right hand part of bar 8, and then we need to answer the questions here. Actually, we need to tick 1 correct statement, and that means that only 1 is correct, the others are not. It's all about pitches, so again, if the pitch you want to know, middle C, A above or below. The 8th bar has a G sharp just above middle C, so let's write it here. Okay, here. And C, middle C is down here. In the alto clef, middle C is here. In the tenor clef, middle C is here, and in the bass clef, middle C is up here. So let's see. Only A and C are correctly rewritten 2 octaves lower. Now, 2 octaves lower from this means a lot low. This is just below, so that's already incorrect. Only C is correctly written 2 octaves lower. Now let's have a look. This G, okay, this is middle C, so this G is up here, okay, G sharp is up here. This would be 1 octave lower, and this would be 1 octave, another octave lower. So this is 2 octaves apart. So this could be correct because this one here is just the note just below middle C. So this could be the correct answer. Let's double check if they are incorrect, these last 2. Only B and C are correctly rewritten 2 octaves lower, and this can't be because this is just the G sharp below middle C. A, B and C are correctly rewritten 2 octaves lower, and this is incorrect. So our right answer is the second one. Easy? I hope so. Last 4 questions. Ready? Let's go. Circle true or false to say if they are correct or not. And we need to look at the music in the previous page. The music should be played in a singing style. Now, the word for singing style is cantabile, and we do have it, so correct. There are 3 acciaccature in this melody. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, and that's it. So another correct statement. Bars 1 and 2 of the left-hand part contain all the notes of the tonic triad of E major. Now, the tonic triad of E major is Mi, So sharp, C, E, G sharp, B. So let's see. We have E, we have G sharp, we have B. So, yes, so it is correct because we have just the chord, the E major chord. So this is correct. The lowest note in the extract is D sharp. Now let's have a look at the bass clef line. Here we have E and the bass clef here is B. So it's not D sharp, but is B. So this is false. C minor has the same key signature of E major, and this is incorrect because the relative minor of E major is C sharp minor, not C minor. So this is false. And they don't share the same key signature because C minor has flats and E major has sharps. Easy. Third question of this 7th section. We need to decide which instrument can play the melody from bar 1 to 4. Bassoon is a bit, oboe it can be. Bassoon is a little bit too low for that melody. Double bass is also very low, and tuba is the lowest of the brass instruments, so the only one could be oboe. How many times the submediant of E major, so the submediant is the 6th degree, appear in the right hand part? The submediant of E major is Do sharp, so C sharp. So we need to count basically. Okay, let's have a look in the right hand part. And they are 7th. Now watch out because also the lower C sharp counts because every C sharp is a submediant of E major. Okay. The last question. Complete the following sentences by adding just a number. The first note of bar 4 is worth a certain number of demi-semi-quavers. Okay, the first note of bar 4 is a double dotted quaver. Now, a quaver equals 2 semiquavers, and each semiquavers is two demi-semiquavers. So one quaver, this is one quaver, makes 4 demi-semiquavers. Then we have a dot, there is half of the quaver, so it's 1 semiquaver, therefore are the 2 demi-semiquavers. And then we have the half of the half, so another demi-semiquaver on its own. Okay, so the total number of demi-semiquavers included in a quaver with double dot is 7. There is an instruction to play the notes semi-staccato in bar 8. Because this symbol with 2 dots and a slur, that is not a tie but it's a slur, and it means that they are semi-staccato, not fully staccato, not legato, so it's something in between. Watch out because this other symbol means staccatissimo, so very much staccato. And with this 5th question, I thank you for watching. I hope this was useful. Let me know. Subscribe to my channel, like and share this video, send it to your friends, and stay tuned for more videos to help you get a distinction in your next theory exam. Good luck and bye now.